Miles. I'm the change practice lead, and I manage the change specialists that work across the transformational programs, and am the project manager for Rangi Tour. I've used the flat retrospective tool. It's part of the Learn As We Go area of Rangi Tour, and I've used it to do a review of projects at the end of when the projects have finished, so a retrospective tool. I've used it on 2 occasions. The first was with the Health and Safety MIDS team. It had been deployed but hadn't been deployed effectively, and so we wanted to get the project team together to just see what had occurred and what lessons we could learn from that in order to take it forward and to advance the project further. The second time I used it was with the G Suite project team, and we did a retrospective of the G Suite rollout, and it was the entire project team and some of the business unit, including Dynamo 6, who were our external supplier as well. The outcomes from using the tool were pretty fantastic, actually. It was a really great way of looking at the achievements that had been produced throughout the project, at some of the problem areas, some of the lessons that we had learned throughout the project, and then looking at everything that we knew from assessing those 3 areas, what we could take into the future, either to inform other projects within the broader program, or to look at for the second phase of those projects. And it's a fantastic tool to take the personal points out, so it's not, you don't end up referring to someone or something. It boils it down to just what was great, what was not so great. You can build on the platform and do the things that were really successful and make sure you do them again in the next project or in the next phase. And with the things that didn't go so well, just ensure that you're not repeating the same old mistakes. It takes any personal attack out. That sounds really negative, but when you're focusing on the problem areas, you don't focus on particular people or particular parts of someone's role that didn't work. So it takes that personality out of it, which is great, because it doesn't then become a personal attack for the people in the room who may not have had the best experience. But it highlights that here was an area that didn't work so well. So in order to progress the project next time, or to not repeat it, then we're going to make sure that the necessary steps are in place to support either that person or that part of the process. So it takes people, the pointedness of blame or people out of it, which I think is a really lovely function of the tool. It's really focusing on what happened, how can we build on the good stuff, and stop repeating the bad stuff. It's pretty adaptable, which I think is fantastic. So I facilitated both of the sessions using the flat retrospective tool. I wasn't part of the project teams, which was quite nice because I didn't have an agenda and could continue to ask questions or unpick some of the insights that came from the fantastic discussions that were being had. It's adaptable. You can use it when you're remote. So both times I've run it, I haven't been necessarily in the room, or all of the participants haven't been in the room, and it's worked just as effectively online as physically in the room. I've used it in conjunction with Miro boards, so people have been able to contribute by putting post-its on a Miro board. At the same time, people in the physical room have been able to put post-its up on a wall, and that's worked really well. I mentioned the insights that you get from it. It's fantastic in hearing different points of view. Sometimes a particular point of the project, for instance, governance, could be for some people an achievement in the project, and for other people could be a problem area. So it's really great to see the different perspectives and how that influences different parts of the project. So at the end of using the tool, you talk about the future considerations, and from there you come up with some actions and assign people to do those actions by a certain time, which is a fantastic way of ensuring that the information is then disseminated wider. I'd also really highly recommend that people share their lessons learned on the changing room workplace group, because that really enables everyone across the organisation to be able to tap in and also build from the lessons that you learned in the project that you've just run. You don't need to be an expert to be able to use it. It's very simple. It's a fantastic construct to be able to stimulate conversation and to unearth what happens within a project. It can be used at any point as well. I think it is equally as useful midway through a project to understand where things are going, how they're tracking, and what you could build on, as it is at the end of a project to see what worked and what you need to then use to inform other parts of a different project or program piece. And it's really good for reflection. You know, it gives us the opportunity to look back, to take a moment to see how the project has gone, whether it's partway through or at the end, and really analyse what we're doing, because often we're so busy doing the doing, we don't take the time to have that reflection and to really understand exactly what's working well and we need to build on more.